And welcome back to the Dead Truth Podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jimmy.
I believe this is episode 5, right? Am I right?
Number 5, yes, sir.
All right, and we're going live on YouTube and Facebook tonight. So if you're out there, you can give us a call at 440-376-4670.
That's right. You actually give your point of view on stuff.
Yeah, because my point of view sucks.
And mine as well. So how's your day, Kevin?
Oh, well, it was good until it started raining, and we got all this rain pulling in out of the middle of nowhere, and it's storming pretty good right now. And thank God I got my grass cut yesterday. Thank goodness.
There you go. So, what we got going on tonight, buddy?
Well, I had a question. I was going to ask you last episode, but I forgot it. Then I saw it on the notes. Now, what's the worst time stalking for you? Like, was the worst ever? Like, you just want to get the hell out of there and just be done?
Remember I was talking about Mark Rosenthal's group, and where I wanted to be done with it was when I started getting all the death threats. But the most craziest of all was we were in Griffin one night, and you had this massive amount of people crossing the street and everything, and you had, that's actual Norman Reedus and Lauren Cohen and all of them were crossing the street back and forth, and you had fans actually acting crazy. Lawrence Gilliard actually got pushed back into a car.
What? Oh, damn.
Yeah. He was between a group of fans in like a minivan, and some of the fans kind of was trying to get pictures with him, and he got pushed back into the road. There's been numerous things throughout the years. I remember Daquan's wife. Some stuff happened to her where she got, she got in trouble for urinating behind a freaking store, of all things. She's not the one that actually got caught, though. There was another man out there that he was sitting there, apparently went around a building, was taking a piss, and this woman would come out and seen him with his dick in his hand. That's basically how that stuff started. And they caught along all of us because he's the one that had his dick in his hand.
Wow.
Yeah. But, for the most part, Marlene always kind of acted crazy as hell, and she was always stirring the pot. So
yeah,
all I did was kind of clean stuff up behind her and try to make things work out the best way I could.
Wow. Some of the stories I've heard, what was his name? Who was it that climbed up tried to sneak into the catering? I don't remember their name. Oh, you remember
There's been so many different people. There was one guy in particular, I remember he was on Rock House Road in Cinnamon, and he got out of his car. Well, it was one of his kids anyway. He got out of his car. The kid just takes fucking running through a fucking field, right? And base camp was right there in the middle of this field. Well, he ran right in the damn base camp. And next thing you know, the cops were running out there trying to chase his little ass down, and they finally got a hold to him and basically told us, all of us, we had to damn go. Even though they had nothing to do with us, it was part of just his car that was running down the road, but they blamed it on all of us like normal. Wow. And across the street from Harley Davidson on Highway 16 in Noonan, we were actually out there one day. They were filming there, and there were some girls in the woods trying to sneak into base camp there. There was just always some crazy shit going on, and it was kind of amazing at times, the amount of shit they went through. There was just so much stuff. There's lightning going off above my head.
Oh, you're getting it right now. It's coming toward you.
It's coming toward me, yes, sir. But pretty much for the most part, I mean, the 90% of the fans actually did right, and there was always that 10% that was always just fucking up stuff, and some of them are pretty hilarious. And then we had the crazy fans coming in from out of town.
I can tell you about those people. Whew.
Yeah, but like I was saying before, if you want to call in and ask my opinion about anything or ask any questions about the show or just, getting autographs in general, just give me a call and I'll answer anything.
Oh yeah, it's. I was gonna ask you too. Who's the who? How many people tried to sneak out to Herschel's farm and got caught?
There's been over about 20 people got caught doing that. The the biggest one ever I remember was like five kids. Their ages around 17 to about 20. They went down the road down there, and I remember the guy that owns that farm. He basically held a gun to them and waited till the police got there, and they were really proud of it. They were in the front page of the paper smiling. They were pretty happy. They actually got to see it.
Wow.
Uh,
Do
but
all that just to see a farm. Okay.
well, it's not really a farm. It's just a big piece of land out there, and I even filmed Thor over there. Last couple of years, about 3 years ago now, they filmed that Thor movie on that same piece of property. But for the most part, that guy don't want anything to do with the fans per se. He just wanted a paycheck. So that's what you basically have. You don't want anybody to come out there. We offered to do tours out there through Atlanta Movie Tours, Harrelson, Sonoya. We all offered to give him a flat rate fee per customer to come out there and do tours, and he's turned us down every time. The guy did, Elder's Mill. His wife passed away, and when his wife passed away, he didn't want anything to do with it anymore either. He pretty much he's not the same person he was.
Yeah.
So I mean, he doesn't want anything to do with it. He said, "I'm welcome to come fish out there," but like, far as actually bringing fans, I couldn't do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because what about some of the other places they filmed at where they do little tours? I know Grantville's been doing pretty good. Your tour there, Esco does good. And what other places do they have little tours like that?
Well, in Hampton, they have a tour right there where Glenn actually fell next to the dumpster. There was a guy in the bookstore used to do that tour there. I think it was like $10 a person. And then you had Sonoya. You always have people fighting over the tours in Sonoya. You have the little woman that owns the tour with the golf carts where you ride around and she talks into a speaker.
Oh,
you have the other tour where they do walks, and you have Atlanta Movie Tours. I don't really talk about the other tour that does walks because they don't like to talk about me, so I don't talk about them. So that's pretty much where it goes. But as far as Atlanta Movie Tours, I mean, I've always told people over 100 times, always go on their tours because, believe it or not, their tours bring more people here than anything. So it's like a lot of fun with Atlanta Movie Tours. And of course, you got Cindy Sumner.
She's good.
Cindy Sumner has been with me from the start. So Cindy's always in my heart.
Oh yeah, good person.
Yeah.
So if you're not busy next Saturday, I'll bring this up. The Walking Dead's tour and events there in Harrelson, or is it Harrelson? Harrelson, however you say it.
Harrelson, yeah.
But you can join them. There's a little map. Everybody knows where Esco's at. They do cosplay. They still do that zombie for the day thing.
As of right now, no. The lady that did zombie for a day thing, she ended up passing away on us around in December and October, somewhere in there, maybe November. She passed away around in there. Randy, her husband, he comes around, but he's no longer kind of part of things either. He kind of stepped back after she passed away.
And just putting up all the information for the tour. And you'll be out there next Saturday if you want to go on the best tour ever for The Walking Dead. Head out to Harrelson to the Esco feed mill and come out on a tour of Jimmy, and you'll be amazed.
Not only that, if you want a private tour from me to go anywhere, as far as Walking Dead goes, I can't do studio, I can't do Alexandria, and I can't do seaside stuff like that. But pretty much everything else I can take you to. Just get in touch with me through my Facebook.
Yeah, and you've taken us. You took my wife's sister and her friend on a tour.
I've taken over.
I don't know how many.
I've taken over 5,000 people. I'd say. My ex-wife used to rent me out for the whole day. Yeah. Well, really for the whole weekend.
She's like, I'll get rid of his ass. Here, go show these people.
Yeah, pretty much. And I used to stay gone for the whole day. And I was like, as long as you take me out and feed me, I'm good. So I had this dude from Australia. He's actually still a good friend of mine. He rented me out for the whole weekend. He actually got me a hotel room in downtown Atlanta and everything. It was kind of cool. Yeah, like we did down here, and then we did Atlanta, but we had to wait till the next day in Atlanta. So he put me up in the Doubletree Hotel in downtown. He wasn't
Yeah.
too bad. He's actually kind of nice, to be honest with you.
Oh. So what do you see the tourists? What happened to the tourists? You know, we talked about this a little bit before about the coronavirus and all that crap. And do you
Well,
see the tourists picking back up?
I do. Once it starts filming again, I consider it a pick up. With the coronavirus, we're seeing people from in state right now. We're not really seeing them from out of state. So when you come in, um, we are having tours. We have state guidelines we have to go through. Um, as far as social distancing and stuff, we have to follow by those guidelines. We only have so many people per tour we can do. So
Yeah.
we're outside. We're not an inside tour. So I always say, it's at your own discretion. So um, I think around, I want to say February to around in March sometime, we couldn't even have a tour. They were going to fine us, I think, $1,000 per person. So now we're pretty much up for doing whatever we can do. So
Yeah.
if you're on a tour, I can hook you up.
Okay. So where can they find you on? Where are you under? Just Jimmy Littlefield on Facebook or
Jimmy Littlefield, yeah, you can
you
see
going?
my mug. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got the same face I do. So
Oh, okay.
this old ugly mug, you can find me through it.
Now, so when they start filling up again, the rumor is pretty soon or not. I'm thinking not, don't you?
I actually rode by, in Union City, you have a studio right there. You can see off the road. And I think they're doing the Rock movie there. And they actually was moving around equipment. So I don't know exactly what that means, if they're going to start doing anything, but they are working again. So Walking Dead's not doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know. They keep saying soon, 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 but they're not doing anything.
Nothing at all. So
Nothing, not one thing.
You just think they're just pulling everybody's string right now, or
No, I think they're legitimately trying to get ready for filming, but because it's a multi-million-dollar show, but I don't think they can get it off the ground without permission. So
okay.
right now they're in the holding spot. As soon as they actually come out, I like I said before, though, we got to see what's going on with this Andrew Lincoln movie.
Yeah.
And see where that's going to go. I think if that movie falls through, Andrew Lincoln will be back on the show. I don't know if that will save it, but it's trying to do something there.
Yeah, because I haven't heard anything more about that since.
Well, I'm hearing bits and pieces, but they still hadn't started production on it. So I mean, you can't say when it's going to be released. You can't say when production is starting. All I know is there's meetings taking place in L.A. Besides that, I don't know anything else.
Yeah, so hopefully something will get going because oh my goodness, it's kind of been boring summer. I mean, to what we
Yeah.
usually do.
Well, usually I'm all going to Braves games and having a great time, but nothing's going on right now.
Yeah, it's been, and the Braves. We won't talk about that right now. Looking pretty bad.
No.
And now, if the season continues after they're going to put you said the premiere's coming in October, or the finale's coming in October.
The finale's coming in October. They say they're going to take both seasons, the next two, film them together, release one, then release the other one. And then the show's supposed to be kaput after that. So you got 2 more seasons for this thing runs off track, which it already has.
Yeah.
But through everything, it's still trucking. So it is what it is.
Something's going to happen, I think, but who knows anymore. I'm trying to fix something for us real quick, but go ahead, keep on chugging there. And there, YouTube chat is back. There it is.
There you go.
All right, Grunt UMC just asked, what about the Grove location and the Crazy Goat? Well, we know who that is.
They're in the Grove. I don't know if anybody knows what the goat is, but during the Grove scene, where Carol said, look at the flowers.
Yeah.
There's a little town below Griffin that this goat is at. Okay, at that house they filmed at, and then no matter who goes over there, if you're a woman, that goat will try to hump you.
Oh yeah.
So like that goat, like everybody talks about the goat, but do not go out there. The goat's in heat constantly. I guess.
Oh my God, that goat was a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
it was.
But he didn't he chase around your wife?
Yeah, he chased around her.
Yeah.
See, when we were out there, it was probably about 2 months after they filmed. They still had the graves for what's their names? The little girls, I forget their names.
Yeah, I got you.
They could still see that, and one of the crosses was still kind of laying there broke. We thought that was pretty
Yeah.
cool, but next time we went out, the cross was gone. Someone snagged it. That's a
Yeah.
hard location to find.
Yeah. Now I actually talked to the landowner of that location. Back then, I don't know about now. That was like 4 years ago, and they actually said, we really don't want anybody on our property. And I talked to them, and I never released that address. Of
Yeah.
course, a lot of people know that address because Walking Dead Locations kind of put it out there, but
Yeah.
I do not talk about the address. No, and I'm pretty sure the goat's up there for a reason. They just
Yeah, that's a good way to keep people out. Put that asshole up there. Now, what's one of your favorite locations that from the filming location?
Well, my favorite location's in Grantville. It's always the Away with You All.
Yeah.
Also, I like the satellite dishes down there in Manchester too. I think those are really, really cool. It's the biggest set there is, and I think downtown Atlanta, next to Jimmy Carter Library,
Oh yeah.
the highway right there where Rick walked in, I think that's really cool too. What people don't actually understand, though, over on Jimmy Carter Boulevard, they actually have it's Ted Turner Boulevard. They
Yeah.
actually have an underpass back there under some railroad tracks. So when you're actually looking at that poster, you actually see Rick coming into Atlanta. That's actually back there on the back street. It's not really on that thing. So what they did was they CG'd that highway.
Yeah.
So that's what you actually see. You see the CG. That's why you see the train running next side the highway. It's actually that back alley. So they actually blended the two. That way it kind of gives you a little inkling of what's going on. They actually filmed, Civil War with, Captain America and that scene back there as well. They did, and also Merle shot off the top of that building. Remember when the FBI was called because they had an active shooter on that building when they were filming?
I remember that. Yeah.
So, I like I said, it's been a lot of fun. Do I have any more questions at all? That was kind of fun.
Nope. If you got a question and you're afraid to call in, hit us up on the Facebook chat or the YouTube chat. We got them both up now. And I keep disappearing. Look at that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
That green screen's awesome, man.
Yeah. But what's one of the hardest locations you went to go look for and you had a hell of a time finding?
You remember where the governor had his Walker pit, right?
Yeah.
I'm the one that found that. I actually, we were down there during filming where he filmed the governor's daughter. Remember the governor's girlfriend's daughter? Remember Lily?
Yeah.
His girlfriend on the show. Well, Lily, her daughter had ran off, and she ran in this little four-way, and it had walkers coming toward her. Then they ran in the woods. And you've seen the Walker pit, right? Well, what I did, I used to go out there and kind of find different weird things to kind of say, hey, this is where this location is. So that's what happened when we wrote the book. So whenever we went back to that location, I looked at it on the actual show.
Yeah.
They had a old house where the chimney was still sitting there. So I took that steel frame from the chimney in the woods on the show and went and matched it over there in Turin to a house that was in the woods with the same chimney.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, they didn't leave filming that day, and I was actually there when they killed Martinez off because Martinez was actually missing a part of his hair where a walker had yanked it off. So when you walk into that field over there where the bulls were, they actually have dug that Walker pit out right in that field. So all of it's part of that field and turn behind the church.
Oh, wow.
On Main Street.
Yeah.
So that's actually how I found that. Now, as it went on and kept going on, we actually got help from William Riggs, which is actually Chandler's dad.
Jill Hammer. Woo.
Yeah, Jill Hammer. Yeah. So I actually had to give him props because he did help me out pretty good on that. Marlene, of course, wrote the book. Jamie kind of got everything going and proofread it.
Yeah.
But my job was to go out every day and find another location. So I
got the hard part then. You got the hard part then, right?
No, dude, that shit was fun. I'll be honest with you. I got away from everybody. It was fun. Like, I went out every day. Lost. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, it was like a treasure hunt to me, man. And that's the way I looked at it. Most people actually had most of the stuff online already. But as for me, I actually went everywhere trying to find pinpoint locations, and I'd find it in weird little ways. Like, there'd be a tree, it'd be a weird little tree on the screen. So I'd take a picture of that and go find it in real life. And it was kind of hard finding that stuff, but I did a pretty good job at it.
Oh, yeah. I remember I went with you one day to go look for
probably looking for bullets because that's what I used to do, go look for set bullets.
Yeah, we used to kill it on that. I mean, How many did we? One day I don't know how many we found.
I found 18 set bullets in one day before. That was the most I ever found. Of course, I used to have the metal detector with me and everything, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I used to have a metal detector until someone decided they were going to clean out the closet and broke it.
Well, it's better than where mine ended up. So there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was cool though when we started doing that. What I can't remember what led us to do that. Do you remember, or just like you found some on the
Well,
ground, or?
no, Cindy Sumner kept finding bullets when she was doing tours in Harrelson. That's where I was working at the time. And I'm like, I know she keep finding these bullets. Well, every time it rained, it would wash them up. And I'm like, there's got to be an easier way just going around while looking at them. So I was like, I need a freaking metal detector. So I had you bring yours down. And I think I had Dustin Baker bring one down. And I just kept going through there. Where we found the most at, though, was where Josh shot up the deuce and a half.
Yeah.
Remember he misfired that gun? So that's where we found the most of them at. We found a shit ton over there. Then we found a bunch of them where Merle died. We found a bunch of them where Eugene bit that dude in the dick. Remember he bit Dwight dick?
Mm-hmm.
We found a bunch of them over there. We found numerous spots, but that was my favorite thing to do. You know?
Yeah. Well, we have a question from Grunt UFC. What location got the most celebrities to stop? I'm thinking Alexandria. That's what their question is.
It would probably be over time, yes. But the one the most I think I've ever seen anybody stop is out there in Griffin. Anytime they filmed in Griffin around that post office, we had they would always come out there. And the reason why, it was just an easy place for them to come and go. And for the most part, I mean, there was like, I'll be honest with you, it had to be like 250 to 300 fans at a time there.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, they actually kind of enjoyed it. I think the most memorable time I had with them stopping was with Michael Cudlitz. Before he was Abraham on the show, he actually, I watched them at Comic-Con announce that character and who it was going to be. So when I seen Cudlitz, I remember from Band of Brothers. Mm-hmm. So I seen him going to the trailer. And I started screaming out, Cuddy. Well, Cudlitz actually come across the street. And I remember the dude that played Eugene was Josh McDermott.
Yeah.
He was standing right beside me eating Cheetos. And Marlene's like, can you give me some damn Cheetos because I'm hungry? And he's like, my damn Cheetos, get your own. We were shooting the shit with him.
Yeah.
And we didn't know who he was. And we took our picture with Michael and everything. And going home, she's like, I think I know who that guy is. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, he's on the show. He plays this dude with long hair. And I'm like, bullshit. And we got home and looked on the internet. That's exactly who he was. And we actually started chatting with him back and forth on Twitter for a long time before he actually got announced. When he got announced, it just got crazy, man. People were actually going crazy about that character, man. He had to delete that Twitter because he was getting death threats.
Oh, man, yeah. Oh, we got another question. What Walking Dead celebrity was the most fan-friendly that you ever met?
Yeah, he already knows the answer to that. It's Norman Reedus, man.
Yeah.
He's a Norman, man. He would do anything for fans. Like, no shit. He really would. There was a girl that actually cut off his bike when he was talking to us, and he was actually nice to her. I think I would have yelled at her for touching my motorcycle, but she actually reached over and she's like, I got to turn this off or I can hear you. And he's like, what are you doing? And he was just still nice to her, even though that he had messed with his stuff.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. I forgot about that.
That went viral on the internet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's usually. I mean, when we see him in the airport or you see him, he's always nice. And I wish some of the other stars, were like them. I mean,
well, like I told you, man, some of them rap parties, man, Norman would be just drunk as hell. I mean, he would be. I remember he laid in the middle of the floor at one of them rap parties drunk, and he didn't get up till the next day. And he was still nice to us.
Yeah. Who's the worst one?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say. I don't want to talk negatively. Yeah. I don't want to say that. Yeah.
Okay. Who? Just tell us what the worst one's done.
The worst one, I think. I would say it wasn't an actor on the show. It was one of the writers. Came out there and started screaming at the fans, telling them they were worthless and all this other stuff. And
what a dick!
It was an Asian lady. I'm not gonna say who it was, but
Okay.
she was drunk, so I give her the benefit of the doubt because they all were.
Yeah.
I think the funniest time was when they were doing the rap party and Josh McDermott was singing "Journey" in the
Oh
bottom of
man.
the basement,
Wow.
and it was a trip, man. But yeah, they actually did karaoke during the rap parties and everything. It was kind of fun. I
Uh,
mean, and the truth be told, like if you could actually sweet talk somebody that was coming out for a bracelet, you can actually go into the rap party with the bracelet.
yeah.
That's like what we used to do. Like people would come out of it, be like, "Can I have your bracelet?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." I'd grab that damn bracelet, and run into the party.
Oh yeah. How many people would kill to do that?
Yeah, but we kept that junk quiet because there'd be too many people there, and it was already kind of crazy anyway.
Yeah. Oh
So
man, the good old days. Nothing like it now. I mean,
no, that's for sure, man. They don't act anything like that anymore,
yeah,
except Norman. Yep.
yeah. Now, what was your favorite? What season was your favorite rap party? Because
I want to say season 7 was my favorite rap party. It just was. I think because Lenny James was there, that was
yeah,
kind of cool in itself. And I think the karaoke thing, actually watching them sing karaoke and watching Norman come out the back door and start screaming at people, "Let me sign your shit," and
yeah,
it was hilarious, man. It was good. It was good times.
yeah. I think it was season 8's rap party where they moved the location from Stats to the other place. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I didn't even go to that rap
Yeah,
party.
yeah. We'll just say it's in the middle of the ghetto of Atlanta, and
Yeah,
we showed up. There's maybe 6 of us, and Norman pulls up in his Porsche, gets out, he starts signing, and then all of a sudden the whole cast just walks by and no one's paying attention. He's like, "Hey, turn there, go there."
well, I didn't mind it when it was actually at that wine cellar place next to what is that, Ponce de Leon Market.
Yeah, yeah,
It wasn't bad at that wine place. It really wasn't. It was actually kind of fun. But after that, it changed like
yeah,
significantly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're trying to be more secret about the rap parties now, or you think they just hell with it? They're kind of done with it now.
I think they're over the fandom. I think that's what it is. I think through Walker Stalker and a couple other things, I think they're just over it. I mean, you can't keep getting the shit bugged out of you before you can just say the hell with it.
Yeah, I understand it because how long is going on? What, season 10 coming up?
Yeah, I mean, back I want to say from season 2 all the way to season 5 or 6, everything was cool, and then after that, it kind of blew up because all the crazy fan stuff was going on.
Yeah. Oh man.
Not to
So
mention the whole thing with Stacy. So I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
So do you think when they start filming, if this whole virus crap gets over, or if it's not, when they start filming, you think the fans are coming back, even though?
I think they want to come back. I think it's natural for them. What I wish they would do is I wish they'd start coming out and greeting them again. I think that would bring more people in.
Yeah. Because has the show's ratings started going down lately, haven't they? The last couple of years.
Yeah, it's down like almost. I think at the peak of the show it was over 38,000 people, 38 million people
Yeah.
at one time, and now it's done dropped. I want to say tenfold compared to that.
And
Yeah.
what you think contributed to that? I know a lot of people say it's when Negan came in and killed Abraham and Glenn,
Well,
but
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
all right. My whole outlook about that was they killed them too violently for TV.
Yeah.
That I've heard a lot of people on tour talk about it was too much. It was too gory. Even though that's what the comic books call for.
Yeah.
I think Nick Terra sometimes he goes overboard with the gore,
Yeah.
and I think that was part of it. I think the casual fans, not the hardcore fans, but the casual fans, was like that might be a little too much for me to handle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a lot of them stepped back then. I think where the hardcore fans got messed up at was the whole death of Carl, and then Rick left the show.
Yeah.
So I think the hardcore fans, their heart left with Carl, and I
Yeah.
think the casual fans, when he got the bat to the head, I think it was too gory.
Yeah. Because that's when they started kind of like the actors themselves. That's what I felt. They kind of started changing even more. Not more. They weren't as friendly as they used to be.
No, that started before that though. You got to understand. Like I think with Walker Stalker, they got a taste of, I can make like 50 grand in one weekend. Why would I
Yeah.
go out there and sign for free when I can charge somebody $100?
Mm-hmm.
They,
Yeah.
Chandler's daddy William actually told me one time, well, back when he was coming around, he said, I can make more doing autographs on the weekend than I actually can do doing the show. And that's why he worked the hell out of Chandler. He did. He worked the shit out of that boy.
Oh yeah. I felt sorry for him.
And he actually told Chandler, I actually seen him do this to fans. Like there'd be some teenage girls or something outside waiting for him to, kind of meet him or whatever. And William come out there and tell his son not to look him in the eyes. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's like there's teenage girls, dude. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, he could have been in the next teenage heartthrob and all this, but yeah, William was more worried about making the money off of him.
I think it was a Macaulay Culkin type situation. I really do.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. I do. It's kind of hard to sit there and say anything but when you see, William walking around with a new car and a new bass boat, and Chandler's like, look what my dad bought me, and it'd be like a little car sitting there. It's like, you bought that your damn self.
Yeah.
That's your money, dude.
Yeah, Jill Hammer ain't making that much money. Let me tell you.
I don't know. They selling out stadiums now. Is what I'm hearing.
Kind of. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh hey, we got Kevin Lamb said, "What's up?" Hey Kevin, give us a call, Kevin.
What's up, Kevin? What's going on, man?
440-276-4670. Tell us about your. Well, I already know who your favorite character on The Walking Dead is. Call us and tell us why, Kevin. Or Rosita will die.
Oh snap! He's a Rosita fan.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Oh, there's a little story behind her too. So the first time I ever seen her in character, we were up at Terminus, right? So she had her full outfit on, and a buddy of mine was sitting in the back seat, and he rolled out his window. He cracked his window, and he yelled out how hot she was, and then he rolled up the window, and my window was down. I'm like, you son of a bitch, you. So the whole cast over staring at me. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
Oh, man. All right. We're trying to get someone to call in. We're trying to get Kevin to call in. Call in, Kevin. Don't be afraid. There's only 3 people watching right now, so don't be afraid. And you're one of them. Now, I'm trying to think of something good for you. I already went through all my questions for you. Now, like Funko Pops, when they came out, you were big on those. I remember those because you had almost every. I think all of them signed, didn't you?
Yeah, my goal in life at that time was get all of them autographed. Yeah, and I actually did it. I think the last one I actually got was I want to say Daryl on the bike.
Yeah,
I want to say that's the last one I got. And then when I got it, I went through my divorce, and I had to sell all of them to kind of make ends meet and make sure everything gets good. I still have 4 of them. I got most of them autographed. I still got the Comic-Con 2013 Riot Shield Zombie autographed by Kirkman, and
yeah,
the Rick Grimes autographed by Andrew Lincoln and stuff like that. And I think my coolest one though is the comedian Fluffy. I got his autograph on one Funko Pop now, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, because Funkos they've been sticking around because when McFarlane came out, they changed them, the size of them. People stopped collecting them. I mean, because we have a mutual friend that had every one of them and had almost all of them.
You talking about Greg? Yeah, Greg had everything, man. And the problem with that one is they bring the same one out every time. They didn't have any different characters.
No.
With Funko, you can get any kind of character you want. They might look a little odd, but it's not realistic. But at least you have different characters at that point. I mean, you even had a Eugene, they had Dwight, they had Morgan, they got everybody, and that was the difference. Like you could have every character. You can't really have every character with McFarlane. All they believed in was making the money. So you had Michonne, and they started going out to Glenn and everybody. Yeah. And then I guess those didn't sell as well, so they started bringing it back.
Yeah.
Then you had the 10-inch, 8-inch, 12-inch. You had all kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I got pissed when, remember the original Shane, right? Holding the shotgun?
Yeah.
And then they come out with Shane, exact same thing, but he's wearing a police hat.
Well, the I think the difference was it was a rejuvenation of the first one because everybody bitched that they missed on from the first one, but that's part of the collecting of it.
Yeah.
I've only seen two of those Andrew Lincoln black and whites from the first line. I've seen one down here at what is it? Can't ever think of the name of that store. Anyways, they got one in Columbus, Charles and something. Anyway, I can't remember the name
Second
of
and
that.
Charles.
Yes, Second and Charles.
Second and Chuck.
They have one. If you're looking for a Andrew Lincoln black and white Series 1, it's at Second and Charles down in Columbus, Georgia. They actually still have it.
How much is that thing going for now?
It's $200. I think at the peak it was like $600.
Yeah, because I remember that. And then the other black and white ones was it the Daryl one they had?
Yeah.
That was expensive. And then, well, the original Daryl McFarlane was expensive for a while.
I'll be honest with you. I think the most expensive thing was the first ever Walking Dead comic. I think at one point that thing sold for like $10,000.
He's doing some kind of podcast.
Hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
I had somebody in the background. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, that comic book sold for like 10 grand at one point in time.
Wow. And how much is it worth now?
I don't even know, man. I remember it went down to a couple $1,000s, but it's nowhere near 10 anymore.
Yeah.
I stopped keeping up with it. I had a couple of them. I had the first couple, and I still have the last one and the one before that where Rick died, and I have the very first Negan one. But I really don't collect comics that much. I kind of collect Funko. See behind me?
Well,
Yeah, I collect.
I don't think anybody could tell behind your head.
Yeah, I collect a lot of Funko, man. I'm kind of a crazy Funko guy. I got about every baseball stadium release. I got Walter White, the glow in the dark everybody looks for. I got that one, the San Diego Comic-Con. Got the Kobe Bryant. I've got crazy stuff that I've had forever. So
I know I've seen your collection, and
yeah.
And if people saw your original collection of The Walking Dead, people would be like, "Holy shit!"
They would be crazy, man. I even had the 10-inch 300 ever made Daryl Dixon. I had the Merle that was a zombie. I had everything that you could get. I started collecting that from the first set up. Like I only paid $20 a piece for them.
Yeah. And it's like when Funkos first came out, they were like one of the cheapest things that to get signed because they're how much is a Funko usually, like a brand new one now?
Well, depending on what you want. If you want like the one from the loot box, or do you want the one just to come off the shelf? Because the one that comes off the shelf is just a common, it's $10. The one that comes in those boxes, the crates actually runs. I think the crate's like $60.
Yeah.
And then when you buy it off of eBay, that thing can be $100+. I mean, you never know. Especially I think the new Dirty Daryl, as they call it, it's going to be pretty worth a pretty good amount.
Oh yeah. Because on the two, I remember when McFarlane came out with their McFarlane Lego sets. You remember that? Because it was the first thing to come out with Dell's RV.
Yeah.
We got. Oh my god. I put Legos together, but the McFarlane Legos suck.
Well, the thing about the RV was not many people remember this, but McFarlane himself actually signed a bunch of those RVs, and I think if you can find one now, sorry about the storm by the way, if you can find one now, it might be signed because I don't think all of them were found.
No, there were. He signed the little, what do you call that?
The canopy.
Yeah, the canopy for him. He signed a bunch of them, and I think only maybe 100 or so were found. And because they didn't sell well in the stores, because people because they didn't like the figures, because the figures they thought they were going to be like Lego people, but they weren't even close. They're just little figures, and they had to put them together. Their arms would fall off. They wouldn't stand up because we had.
You want to hear something funny? I never owned it. I never even had one. I remember we still have them in the store now, but I never had owned one.
Well, don't buy them. Don't put them together because you'll throw the damn thing out the window before you're done. I hated that thing. Now, what other Walking Dead merchandise, like at your stores, like people just can't, go without?
Well, we always carried the posters. The posters were always my thing. Like you can always have like a season 3, season 4 DVD covers. I always like the DVD covers more than the generic ones because it meant something. It actually would represent the show. If you have just a generic one of Daryl, there's a million freaking Daryl posters out there. Or now there's JDM and Daryl posters. And it's like, I don't like the generic ones. Give me what's on the cover of the DVD. And honestly, between me and you, I think Andrew Lincoln belongs on that cover.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing other people on that cover. I think the whole show was about him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm kind of stuck at now. It's like, I think fans are stuck like me. It's like the show is about him.
Yeah.
Why the hell is he not on the show? And we all know why.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like the show's missing that now.
Yeah, you're missing the star of your show.
Yeah, that's why it's in a tank right now.
Yeah. Now, I know you had the DVD set was the Governor's Fish Tanks. You had that signed. I remember you had that. And
I had everybody sign that thing. Yes, sir.
And then we had the Tree Walker one. I remember that. And then they had RV Walker the first season where his head opened up, where you pulled the screwdriver out. And then they kind of went downhill after that, after the Governor's.
Yeah, my favorite one was the RV Walker. Travis Charpentier. Oh, Travis is a true boy.
Oh,
he really was.
He was. Oh, and he's Maggie's brother too, wasn't he?
He really was. Yeah. That's an interesting fact. You bring that up.
Yep.
If you looked on Herschel's farm on the refrigerator, that is the actual picture of Travis when he talks about her brother. Yeah. And then he was the RV Walker as well.
Yeah, because I remember Travis told me they filmed a couple scenes with what's her name, Lauren, for like a flashback with her, but they never made it.
Yeah, they never made a whole bunch of them. Like most of those good scenes were kind of cut.
Yeah. Okay, someone just asked, what about the movie? Are they making a movie still?
They are working on the movie. I don't know if they actually started production. They're supposed to be filming it somewhere else and not Sonoya. As of now, I don't think they even started production on it. I know they were planning on it. COVID shut everything down, so that's where we stand right now. They have shot the last season of The Walking Dead as far as last season goes.
Yeah.
They have not aired it. It's supposed to air sometime in October. But as far as the movie goes, y'all know as much as I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then supposedly there's going to be 2 more seasons and they're done. They're going to.
That's what we're hearing through the grapevine, through the local people anyway. Keep in mind, I've lived here all my life. I lived in Noonan, and I lived in Sonoya for about 10 years. The girl I'm seeing now is actually from Sonoya originally. She lived Sonoya her whole life. So we are kind of internal people.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what they're telling the locals. They got 2 more seasons and it's done.
Oh.
So I don't know. If they get Andrew Lincoln to come back, the stuff spikes. It starts going back the way it was. I think that's the only way it can keep going.
Yeah. Because aren't a lot of the cast starting to jump ship now? I know. Michonne's leaving.
Yes.
What's her name? Maggie lady. I forget her name. Lauren's
Lauren's
back.
Supposed to be coming back. Yes. Also, I'm hearing through the grapevine JDM might be leaving. So I don't know. I'm never going to say this is what's happened until after it's aired. I'm not like some people that jump the gun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, unless you see it on the screen, don't believe it until you actually see it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Any more questions? And I guess no one's going to call us tonight. But, hey, we had 2 viewers on YouTube, and we had about 5 on Facebook Live. That's better than last week.
Oh,
and everything's working. That's the most amazing thing, I think, right now. And we're going to try to do this podcast every Thursday, I think. Thursday night. That'll be the best time. And
also, do you do your other podcast on Sunday?
No.
If possible, I think Dustin wants to be a guest. He wants to do it on a Sunday night. So Dustin Baker, he's actually anybody that knows the camp for Oscar Rodriguez's event. He actually does security on that event. Yeah, if that's possible for you.
Yep, anything's possible for me.
Okay.
I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm retired, remember?
I got you.
All right, and if you need to hit us up, if you have any questions, suggestions, leave us a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, we don't care. You can hit us up at the Dead Truth Podcast at gmail.com. And I'm trying to think what else you can hit us up on. We're still working on the rest of the stuff, trying to figure it out because we're not internet savvy. And,
Yeah, any questions you have at all, feel free to ask. Anything at all. Critique us. We're new at this. We're just trying to get going, and any input is good input.
Yes, it is. And you got any final words you want to say before we roll out of here?
I had a lot of fun. Enjoyed it, guys.
All right. Well, I'm Kevin, and that's Jimmy.
I'm Jimmy.
That's still Jimmy, and we'll see you next week or probably Sunday. We'll post it up on Facebook if we're going to go live Sunday and what time. And you can find us on Facebook Live. You can find us on YouTube. Subscribe to us and all that crap. And until next time, we'll see you.
See you.
How many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed?
I'd like to have a calm discussion on this topic. You think we can manage that?
The world ended. Didn't you get the memo?
We ain't even having this conversation.
Hey, mister, you even know what's going on?
Come down here, let's have that talk.
Hey, you alive in there?
We got a mission too. It's keeping that man alive, getting him to Washington, and saving the whole damn world.